GV1, we're going to do GV4 is the first point we find. That's Mingmen. That's going to tonify the kidney essence, but the translation of the name is life gate. And we also use this point for low back pain. That's one of the main indications. GV4 is underneath the spinous process of L2. I think the easiest way to find bladder 23 in GV4, because bladder 23 is in line between L2 and L3, 1.5 soon lateral to the lower border of L2, is to just follow the natural curve of the body in. So there's a curve in the body, let your middle finger just fall in line. And generally that's going to take you to right between L2 and L3. But if you wanted to check it, so right now I'm going to say I'm underneath L2, and then I can just count the rest of the way down. There's L3, L4, and there's L5. So in this case that did work. It works pretty consistently across the board to find bladder 23 as well, so just sweep up the middle. Right now I'm under L2, can measure 1.5 soon lateral. The other way you could do it is just start from, if you're not sure. This is what I like to do when I find the bladder shoe points. So a lot of times I'll just do a quick count downward. So there's going to be, here's his C7, so there's T1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, L1, and L2, and it takes me to the same spot. So I just counted the vertebra downward quickly. And the more you work with the spine and work with the bladder meridian, that's kind of how I would count to make sure that I'm on. I do a quick count if I'm going to work any of the back shoe points. And so eventually you'll be able to count that quickly and know exactly where you are on the spine. So that's GV4. The next point that we find in class is going to be GV14. GV14 you can use for pain and tension in the neck, like stiffness in the neck. It can help with mobility. This is the meeting point of all the yang meridians, all the yang energies in the body. And this point is also indicated for like fever, like cold, flu-like symptoms, because it will help release toxins and it will help decrease fever as well. So you just go to below C7, which is right here. And someone was asking how I do GV14 and GV16. So I press downward here, like this, and then I just go to GV16, see, and I angle back, but use my body weight pulling back, and my left hand on GV14 is pushing towards his feet. So it's kind of a push.
Yeah, so it's down.
Stretch. Yep, in opposite directions as I'm pressing here to stretch it out a little bit.
Nice.
So GV14, GV16. Do you have GV16 listed on your sheet? No, we're going to find it anyway.
Okay. Let's do that.
So GV16, and then just a note, 0.5 soon below GV16 is GV15, and that's pretty much going to be in line with C1, between C1 and C2. But we'll find GV16 for sure in class.
But did you mean 14?
14?
Oh.
14 is listed on your sheet.
Yeah. Oh, you want us to find 15 now?
No, we'll just do GV14 and 16.
Okay. Thank you.
For now. But you're not going to be responsible because it's not listed on your sheet for knowing.
But that's a good one, that occipital area.
Yes, it's an excellent point to use.
That's on the supine routine.
Yes, I believe so. So we have 4, 14, and 16. And then I'll have you face up on the table for the last 2 points. I think we just have GV20 and GV26. So the technical location of governing vessel 20 is, most books it will say it's 5 soon posterior to the anterior hairline. And so, like the hairline's thinning, you kind of have to imagine, where it would be. The other general rule is just if you follow the apex of the ear upward, that will take you pretty much to GV20. It's close to the soft spot on the head. So I'm going to do soon measurement, 3, 4, 5. It's right there. You can definitely feel it. And this particular point is very, two combinations to use with this point is GV20 and Yin Tong. You always use this at the end of the massage if I'm finishing on the head, or whenever I finish with the head, I always do this point combination. Or to hold GV20 and then GV16 underneath the head is also a good point combination. So if I was going to do GV16 on the posterior side, basically I, palm, the head like so, and just press my middle finger upward into GV16. So GV20, you can use for like uterine, rectal prolapse, because GV20 has a raising energy, like on yang energy, so it will raise energies upward. GV20 will raise yang energies, but it's also kind of like a clearing, like focus point as well. So it can increase energies, but not energies in the sense like you're gonna, like you just drank a cup of coffee sort of thing. It's more about clarity and focus. That's why it's good to do with yin tong as well. And then you can use this point for hypertension, vertical headache at the top of the head as well.
That's so interesting, because this is where the ethmoid bone is, and that's where we hold a lot of tension.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so doing these two together is really,
Yeah, it's a great point combination.
It feels really cool.
isn't it?
So GV20, and the last point we have is going to be GV26. It's midway between the lower lip in the philtrum of the nose, and basically that's just kind of the curve at the midpoint of the upper lip. So you're just right in the upper lip. This structure is called the philtrum here, and you're just going to be midway between the nose and the upper lip. And that particular point you could use to stop nosebleed. It'll stop a nosebleed pretty quickly. And then that particular point will have, some indication in some books for like facial paralysis and numbness and things like that. So let's. This point is also indicated for low back pain.
This one right here?
Yep, because it's on the GV meridian, you use this point distally to affect the low back. So I've seen Dr. Joe needle this point, like someone comes in and they have had an injury or possibly a herniated disc, and they're walking in with a pain scale of 8 and can hardly bend at all, and he'll needle that point before they even get on the table, and then have them move their hips and then start bending forward, and they will get increased range of motion and decreased pain with that point before they even get on the table.
Cool.
Okay, so let's make a group.